What's going on YouTube? It's your TikTok barber, or may I say Black Prince the barber. In the past, I changed my name from Black Prince to your TikTok barber. But your TikTok barber, it was okay, but I like Black Prince better. But let's just don't start the video off the way we supposed to. I got my client in the chair and everything, and yes, I'm using my Oster 76ers. Because, I just want to go back old school and, just do a cut like that, because I learned how to cut in barber school with Oster 76ers. With that being said, I got my 1.5 on. I'm going against the grain, and as you notice, I'm trying to get that little parietal ridge area because I didn't want to leave no hair right there. Because I noticed a lot of barbers always leave hair in the parietal ridge area. And if you stick around long enough in the video, you will see how I, attack that area. But I'm going against the grain with the 1.5 on my Oster 76ers, and let's just check it out. Let's get it. Alright guys, when I'm done cutting the hair down to a 1.5, I grab my brush, and remember to always put that brush section in, because you want to lay that hair down so you can be able to follow up with the next step, which is the first initial guideline. But before you start anything with your clippers, remember to always make sure the hair is brushed down so you can continue with the next go. Now I put my 3R blade on my Oster 76ers. Remember to always make your first initial guideline as neat as possible, because you want to make sure the haircut ends neat, because once you always start a haircut off neat, it will end neat. And by the way, my client didn't ask for enhancements, so this is not one of the videos that I'm going to put enhancements on one of my clients, because what the client asks for is what the client gets. What the client don't ask for is what the clients don't get. So with that being said, man, let's just continue to watch the video. If you stuck around long enough, please hit that subscribe button. But it's your boy, Black Prince the Barber. Let's get it. Then I go in with my Bearless FX trimmers. The only thing I'm doing right now is just actually cleaning up underneath the first initial guideline, because I want to make that area as bald as possible before I take it to the next step. So always be neat. Remember to brush down the hairs or brush off the hair so you can see what's your next step. So with that being said, man, y'all just take y'all time, look at the video. If you need to rewind something for the, get a good understanding, don't be afraid to. But let's get it. Then I go in with my one blade going up 1/2 inch. Remember to always make everything as neat as possible. That means, whatever you do on one side, you have to do it on the other side, because, you don't want to have one side of the fade higher than the other. So remember to always remember, the way you mark your first initial guideline all the way around the head is the way you should finish your first initial guideline all the way around the head. And notice that I'm doing, just taking a lot of strokes. First of all, let's pause on that. I'm taking my time, just making sure the hair is cut down evenly on both sides or around the head, because, perfection is everything. So you got to just take your time and make sure everything is even. Okay guys, just let me remind you of the steps that I did. Remember at the first beginning of the video, I put the 1.5 blade on, and I went against the grain to, make sure the haircut was even. Then I fell behind with the brush, and, I gave it a little brush session in. And after the brush session, I went in with my 3/0 blade to, make my first initial guideline so I can, make sure everything is even. And after I got everything even with the first initial guideline, I came back with my trimmers, which is my gold FX trimmers, and I cleaned underneath the first initial guideline. And after I did that, I kind of put on my number 1 blade on, and I went up an inch, you know what I'm saying, to make sure everything was even, because that was my second initial primary guideline. And you know what I'm saying, after I got everything even with it, now I have my OA blade on going underneath my one, so I can feather that line out. Right now, actually, I'm just starting my blend. I'm just starting my fading process. You know what I'm saying, just to get everything situated. So yeah, I have my OA on, and I'm just, you know what I'm saying, feathering that line out. And let's just stick around and see what's the next guard I would be using. Now you still can see a little faint line, so what I did, I got my 3-aught, and I'm just only using the corners of the blade. I got my 3-aught, and now I'm just kind of like nitpicking at the OA where I didn't get all the hairs at, because you know what I'm saying, I already knew I had to come back and clean the fading process up with the 3-aught, because the OA didn't get the hairs that I wanted. Because you know what I'm saying, this actually mainly detail work. It's like I'm doing my detail before I do my blend process, because I just want to make sure I want to see the blurry of the fade come to before I even start with the blending process. Because you know what I'm saying, that 3-aught is actually doing a lot of details that I really want it to do. And yeah, the next part is about to come up in a minute. Let's just check this part out. Now I come in with the 1/8. The only thing I'm doing right now is just actually going up against the 1.5 when I first cut the hair down. Now I'm starting my fading process, because I just want to make the blend even softer so I can follow up behind the next guard or the next blade. And remember to always use the corners, because you know what I'm saying, the corners is the most important part of a haircut, because usually you don't have to use the whole blade, because you know what I'm saying, if you use the whole blade, more than what you've taken off will come off. So I always take your time and, you know what I'm saying, remind yourself to look back, and then, you know what I'm saying, you can pay more attention to the fade as it come about. But with that being said, man, remember to always use your corners, and you know what I'm saying, just take your time, and you know what I'm saying, everything will, you know, just build itself. But just take your time and watch the fade take effect. Now I don't want to confuse you guys. I went back to my one blade, you know what I'm saying, to use the corners to get the 1A blade guideline out. It might sound kind of confusing, but if you understand me, or if you don't understand me, please rewind this video, because you will see and you will understand better by rewinding it and looking at it again. But I'm using the corner on my one blade, you know what I'm saying, to knock out that 1A guideline, because you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to soften that line up with a smaller blade so I can come in with the next blade, which will be the 08 blade, because you know what I'm saying, the 08 blade, it's like I'm actually working myself down with a system. Remember, the biggest blade start at the top, the smallest blade stop at the bottom. So I'm actually really just fading down right now, if you can understand exactly what I'm saying. But with that being said, man, let's just check this haircut out and see how the end results turn out. Now I have my OA blade on. I'm actually, you know what I'm saying, using the corners to take away the one blade guideline. I'm softening that line up. Remember, I'm reverse fading, so I, you know what I'm saying, have a unique blend. Because I could have stopped right here and, you know what I'm saying, just did a little minor detail work with the masters. But we just actually doing all detail work and cuts. with the Oster 76ers, man. Big shout out to Oster, man, you know, for making the 76ers. But with that being said, man, I'm just gonna go around and take the one blade guideline out with my OA, and then right now, what you see me doing right now, I actually have my 1A blade on at the parietal ridge area, laying down them hairs, because, you know, I didn't want to leave that all puffy and everything. But the haircut, you know what I'm saying, fire, man. Check it out. Now it's time for the edge up process. Remember, I told you at the beginning of the video that my client did not want enhancements because, you know, that was, she really just didn't want it. She usually get it, but this time she didn't want it. But with that being said, man, when you preparing a edge up, remember to always comb or brush the hair down, because, you know what I'm saying, you want your edge up to be crispy as possible. And, you know, you want everything, you know what I'm saying, just fall in place, because the edge up have to meet up with the blend. What I mean by that, man, you have to have a nice blend if you want that edge up to match it. Because a lot of barbers, you could have a nice blend but a messed up edge up. Or it can be vice versa, the other way around. But remember to always comb the hairs down, and, you know, remember to always take your time with the edge up, because the edge up separates you from any other barber or, you know what I'm saying, haircut. And remember to always take your time. Remember that. All right, now I'm spraying my client up with some line-up trim and edge spray. It's something new that I picked up at the barber supply store, but it's something I used to use when I was in barber school, and then I started using Tresemme. But with that being said, man, hey, this right here, the line-up trim and edge spray, that's the business, because it dries up quick, and you can, you know what I'm saying, go and put that line up on them and send them on their way. Now watch how I turn my client's head. Remember, the client's head's supposed to be straight, because, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to have their head turned a different direction when you're trying to edge them up. Remember, you are right directly in front of the client some type of way for to make that edge up sharp. But with that being said, man, I always start from the middle and work my way to my right, which is my client's left. And then I go around the chair like you see me just did, and I just finish it off. But I always work on their left side before I jump on the right side, because I want to make sure that side is, you know what I'm saying, there actually was a weak side there, so it was a higher, you know what I'm saying, edge up on this side. So determining the fact that I had to make that match up with the other side, and, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now I'm just actually adding a little slight blade work, not too much, because, you know what I'm saying, my client just want to be natural with everything. So I'm just actually just sharpening up the corners to make sure everything match on both sides. Then I go, you know what I'm saying, with the grain on the forehead to knock down the peach furze. But, you know, like I said, it's not too much that I'm knocking down or too much that I'm doing. She's just going natural, and, you know, like I said, it is what it is. But this haircut came out perfect. Guys, you know we live in an imperfect world. No matter how people treat you, you know what I'm saying, you have to give them the utmost respect, because you want your blessings. But with that being said, you know what I'm saying, I had to bless my girl with the fresh haircut. So this is the before right here, and here's the after. YouTube, this is the cut, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you want more great content like this, man, just subscribe to my channel. I will be having like 2 or 3 videos per week, because, you know what I'm saying, I want to get my analytics up. And speaking of analytics, man, please leave a comment in the comment section, because, you know what I'm saying, there will be more fire videos. Whatever haircut you guys wanted me to do, leave a comment in the comment section and I will put it out. Man, I'm just telling you, man. But this is the cut. If you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. But let's just see what my girl had to say at the end of the video. Come on, let's get it.
That shit's tight. God dang. Hey, my shit look clean. I ain't gonna lie. Come on, man. I like my boy.
All right.
Stop it.
All right.